There will be no prosperity nor future sustainability if Nigeria as a nation fails to invest in food security now, considering the fact that it is the bottom line if the country must move forward. This is the submission of Director, United Nations World Food Programme, who is also a veterinarian, Dr. Hamid Nuru, during the annual Professor Sakanuru lecture at the University of Ilorin, where he noted that between June and August this year, the United Nations has estimated 38.1 million people who would face serious food crisis in Nigeria. Delivering a lecture on the theme, Navigating the Nexus of Food Security, Safety and Disease, a Holistic Sustainable Future and Economic Prosperity, Director of United Nations World Food Programme, Dr. Hamid Nuru, noted that food security is now directly linked to national security, and until government provides a dedicated budget for food security, there will be no future nor prosperity for the country.
Is that there will be no prosperity, there will be no future, there will be no sustainability if you do not have food security. Bottom line. So food security is the bottom line if we want to move forward. It's not the oil, it's not the diamonds or the gold. People need to eat food first. This is a fundamental, basic human right.
We need to see how we can get back on track, because food security is now linked directly to national security as well. It's no longer a separate issue. Between June and August this year, we estimate 31.8 million people are going to face crisis in Nigeria here of food insecurity. And 1 million people are projected to actually be on the borderline of starvation. You know, when you see these pictures of Ethiopia in those days, you see Somalia, those children. We have about 1 million people projected this year in this country going towards that level, if we are not careful and we don't address food security issues. Of course, mostly in the northeast region.
I must mention that our academic staff and students are doing greatly, locally, nationally, and internationally, winning grants, awards, and recognition. For instance, the Innovate AMR2 grant by the Canadian International Development Research Center, IDRC, worth about 1.7 billion naira, was won by Dr. Ismail Odetoko and his team, in collaboration with the Royal Holloway University of London and the Spanish Institute of Research, Technology and Agriculture.
Speaking on the long-term remedy measures, the UN expert says government must strengthen agricultural production and invest in resilient food systems that would protect smallholder food producers.
This is where the key needs to be, because Nigerian farming, in most cases, is small scale. Somebody who has a small farm behind the house, 1 acre, half plot. That's what we call the subsistence type agriculture. Most Nigerians are involved in that. But we also need to see how we can go into the semi-commercial or commercial scale farming. In those days in Kano, we used to see the pyramids of groundnuts. We used to export cocoa and rubber, all these things we had. And yet today there's nothing in sight. Because I've hardly seen any country that has actually allocated money to food security. You will see that there's a budget for health, a budget for education, a budget for infrastructure. I've never seen a budget for food security in many African countries. We need to see how we can give a dedicated budget to food security in Nigeria, because the time has come for that.
So he would like me to implore all the younger generation to please not be discouraged by the economic factors and things that are happening today. We all have it within us, as he once did when he was a young man, to bring changes to this country, especially to our state, Kwara. So please, what you have heard today, I hope you've taken something home. Go and nurture your ideas, nurture your imagination, feed it, and try and come up with things that will help yourselves and this country as a whole.
The expert, however, submitted that funding for humanitarian operations must be fully done to prevent famine and reduce hunger.